Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Drew Davis, and I want to welcome you to Learn How to See Better. It's the only podcast out there that'll improve your vision the longer you listen. Today, I want to talk about celebrating love. I think it's such an important thing to do, and it's not done enough. You know, in my situation, I had an opportunity to really celebrate love recently. I was able to celebrate with my parents for their 50th wedding anniversary. How cool is that? How rare is that? How amazing is that? It was just an honor for me to be a part of it and thrilled to be the recipient of a two-parent household with a mom and dad that are still the best of friends after all these years. You know, it's nice to be able to have a little celebration, get some family and friends together, have a good time hanging out. And as I was getting everything prepared, I wanted to say a couple words for my folks. And I was thinking about, wow, this has got to be even not just commonplace rare, but even statistically rare. And I started looking up some stuff, getting some stats, some facts, some figures, and was pretty amazed when I realized, like, wow, there's only roughly 6% of married couples in the United States of America that reach 50 years of being married. That's insane. That's insane. And in my mind, I think it's like a special measure of wealth that you don't really hear people talking about. But I think you oughta, right? You know, you with me on that? I mean, I love the idea of being able to see what it looks like to, ascend to the pinnacle of financial success and reach that 5% peak, right? That you hear people talk about. But what about the peak of marital success, relationship success, right? Wedded bliss, 5 decades. That's crazy. You know, it actually had me thinking about my own experience, my own journey. I got a decade or so and some change behind me in my own experience, which is a blessing in and of itself. But what I realized is, wow, there's so much more that has to go into, those extra decades. It takes a lot more learning, a lot more living, a lot more loving. So I know there was one point at which I actually went and tried to figure out the secret sauce to success in relationships. And the funny thing I realized was that my parents' secret sauce wasn't that hard to figure out. And when I did figure it out, it wasn't all that complex. It wasn't complex at all. Might not be easy, but it wasn't complex. And so I can even recall being that youth trying to figure out how do I want to navigate the world, right? I see my parents as a happily married couple, but you don't always see the world as a grown-up through the eyes of old people, right? As a youthful mind, you would commonly say. But I realized they had something special. And so I decided to get sneaky about how I wanted to figure that out for me, my own selfish intent. And so I went out and asked them. I interviewed them separately. And I basically said, hey, I'm cornering you. I want to find out. I think you are a successful person. I see you as successful in relationships. And I want to know, what's your secret? What's your secret? How have you managed to be so happy, have so much success in your marriage? And to my amazement, in separate interviews on separate occasions, both parents had the same answer. It was super simple. The secret to success was, we're best friends. I thought, that's it? You're just best friends? But mind you, at the time, I'm still a young guy at the time thinking, all right, I got to make my, girlfriend my best friend. I'd rather be hanging with the fellas. That doesn't really sound like that lines up with my mind right now. And it didn't. So I had a little growing up to do. I had some evolution. But to get introduced to that concept that early and realize, there could be something to make note of in there and something for me to keep in the back of my mind as I go along in the world and really try to understand how to have success in really what is the most important arena, right? A happy home, a happy space you can call home with the one you love, right? There's that saying that all the success in the world won't replace failure in the home. And I think there's something to that. And it's like, you got to have a solid relationship in the home. You got to have a solid relationship with yourself, So it's such an example for me. It really made me take time to think about how grateful I am for them, for instilling in me that value, the value of friendship, the value of commitment, the value of family. In that way, both my parents have been great teachers to me. And I feel so grateful for that because they kind of walk the walk, talk the talk, right? Living example of a successful and beautiful relationship. Super powerful. And that allows me to be able to propagate that to my offspring so they can see an example of that as well. Keep paying it forward, right? So yeah, it was just, it was kind of crazy to think some of the things that we celebrate and love aren't just the relationship between the two people, but the effects that relationship can have on others. And that was one of the things I think for me that was a big wake-up call, right? I heard once in a song that said, it isn't that apparent that you don't have to be together to be a parent. And everybody knows situations where the home or a couple that maybe once upon a time loved each other or still love each other just hadn't found that way that they could make things work and continue to be together. And so they choose different things, and hey, that may be the best for them. I'm just saying, in my situation, I'm grateful for the experience I had in my world, to be able to learn from just that luck of the draw. Some might be even willing to call it today, but to be able to experience that firsthand, I think is a great way to be able to duplicate and replicate it and show others what a beautiful symbol of love looks like. And so I guess taking away the big lesson is find your friend, right? Look at how you can invest in your relationship that you may have currently. How can you become better aligned? How can you invest in the relationship and learn more about that person, how they communicate, what makes them tick? How can you work to understand yourself better? How can you develop a more fluid or fluent understanding of your partner's love language, right? A great book to pick up if you've never read it, The 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. Helps so many of us understand we might be speaking the language of love, but our partner can't receive it because they're not tuned in to the language you're speaking, right? You might be trying to show love through acts of service. They might need a hug or a word of affirmation or a gift. So sometimes we're meaning well, but just missing the mark. And so looking at all these different dynamics that come into play for a relationship to be successful, it makes it all that much more a reason to remind me to celebrate love, whether it's a 50th anniversary, a 15th anniversary, a 5th anniversary, right? When you know you have love in your life and someone special in your life that you're sharing your time with, you want to make sure that you celebrate that. Let them know about it. Let the world know about it, right? It's a great reason to be able to take that to heart and really appreciate what you have. Because as the saying goes, you'd rather have loved and lost than never loved at all. And I think that when you love and don't even lose it, you want to make sure to celebrate it, because there are times where we've loved and lost. So celebrate love for all the reasons of how beautiful it is, how beautiful that you have it, the work that you've put into it, an investment made into it, and how you've made it be the joyous experience that you have now. Celebrate love. So whether it's with friends, family, your life partner, celebrate that love. It was great for me to be able to get to spend time with family during this special window of my world, and just reminders of the value of great family, great friends, and they don't all have to be blood relatives, right? Celebrate the love that you have. Take those snapshots, take those pictures, capture those memories, get those hugs, right? Create these new moments that you'll look back on and be able to celebrate sometime in the future. So that's what I got for you today. A little of my 2 cents on the value of taking time to celebrate love. Do it big. It's kind of like a win. Celebrating your wins in your life and the blessings that you have. Don't forget to count those. So until next time, be sure to share this with a friend, somebody you think that deserves your love. Can't wait to catch you on the next episode. Until then, keep working on learning how to see better and listening to learn how to see better. Because it's the only podcast out there that'll improve your vision the longer you listen. This is your host, Drew Davis, signing off. Thanks again, everyone.